Louaista just dropped a video asking why the game hates Kendrick Lamar. And I'm not sure if hate is the right word, because when you look at the history, Game actually supported Kendrick. Somewhere along the line, something has changed. Was it Drake? Was it Kendrick Lamar becoming the face of the West Coast? Or does the Game simply feel like Kendrick Lamar never showed him the respect he deserved? Let's see what Louaista found and make our own decision on what we think has happened between Kendrick Lamar and the Game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dons and donettes everywhere, it's your boy Morgan Heights in the building. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the hype button if you're watching on your tablet or mobile phone. And let's not waste any more time, people.
Kendrick Lamar is granted respect by practically everyone in hip-hop, from former label mates and friends to veterans of the industry who remain inspired by what he's brought to the culture.
Who's the greatest rapper of all time?
Greatest rapper of all time?
Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna give it to Kendrick.
Kendrick is at the very top tier of lyricists, not just of this generation, but of all time.
I posted that album more than I promoted Kendrick's album more than he did. At this point,
Kendrick Lamar is a real motherfucking artist.
And when you focus solely on his native West Coast, Kendrick has been royalty for a long time, even officially being given the blessing of the OGs to take the region on his back.
I'ma say this and I'ma mean this. Nigga, you got the torch, nigga, you better run with it. You better run with it, nigga, cause it's yours.
Big weight on Kendrick's shoulders at that time, man. Big weight on his shoulders. So many cosigns, so much respect from his peers. Yeah, man. Salute to Kendrick, man.
But it's recently become clear that one of those legends who was present for that crowning ceremony has been gunning for the smoke for a while.
Can't nobody in Compton out-rap Game, nigga. Can't nobody in Compton out-rap me, nigga. Nigga, and Kendrick, my nigga. Kendrick do his shit. I love that nigga to death, nigga. I love Kendrick to death, but I flew past Kendrick when that nigga was on foot, nigga, in a Range Rover and showed him how to do this shit. Don't play, nigga. Don't play with Game name, nigga. Compton, nigga. Hardest nigga in Compton, rapping, lyricist, nigga. Me. Any nigga that say any different, nigga, I'll body him and the nigga he fuck with.
You see my problem with Game? I think he's cold. I think Game is a legend. I grew up on Game's music and I feel like sometimes he's overlooked in certain aspects, maybe because of his antics and certain things that he does behind the scenes or on the internet. But when it comes to music and rapping, he's one of them. That's just, we can't get away from that. No matter what, objectively, he's one of them. I just feel like he overcompensates a lot of the time to prove himself when he doesn't need to. But let's continue.
And after functioning as a Cold War for years, it looks like the conflict is about to come to a head in a way that could leave the battle lines being drawn in the CPT. It's your boy Louaista, and this is why the Game hates Kendrick Lamar. To fully unpack this strange, winding road to where we are now, it's time to go all the way back before Kendrick Lamar was the stadium-filling star that he is now. One thing that people might know is that the first time they met wasn't even in a musical context. In fact, it was so long ago that it actually predated either of their music careers.
The first time I met Kendrick was a long time ago. I don't even know if he'll remember. He was going to the Yet Center in Compton, and as part of a probationary program, I had to go be a big brother at this Yet Center, and me and my homie Tato,
getting hours signed off, hell yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't Kendrick's big brother, but he used to come in there and like, you know, he was real young, man. He was just always charismatic.
Over the next few years, the Game's ties to Top Dawg and other affiliates meant that by 2006, the rapper, then known as K-Dot, would start showing up on some of the Game's mixtapes, landing feature on tracks like The Cypher, from 2006 The Black Wall Street Journal Volume 1, and Cali Dudes from 2007's You Know What It Is Volume 4, Murder Game Chronicles. At that point, some tastemakers had already written Dot off, betting that the more conventional West Coast MCs around him, ones with gang ties and gritty street lyrics, were the ones who were most likely to break through.
Back in those days, like Don C would always challenge me to like show him some fresh shit. I remember playing this song called Michael Jordan by Kendrick and Schoolboy Q. And I was played it for Ye. Virgil was there. T Mills. I think Ivan. I'm playing the song. Everybody in the room is like, Schoolboy Q, that's the one. I'm telling all them niggas like, y'all tripping, bro. Kendrick is about to be the guy. Like they didn't understand it at that point. Like everybody thought like Schoolboy was the star. Like obviously Schoolboy is fucking a star. He's a legend. That's the guy. But I'm just saying like Kendrick is about to be like on a different like atmosphere type shit, you know? So it was just dope to see everything come full circle.
But this wasn't the case when it came to the man that put the West Coast back on the agenda during his days with Aftermath and G-Unit. Because once he got on, he did his utmost to boost the platforms of others on their way to the top.
I took Nipsey CD, took it and put it in my pocket, nigga. I took Kendrick and took that nigga on tour, nigga, when Kendrick was J-Rock, motherfucking hype man, nigga. I put the rest on my back. So when niggas say I'm him, no you not, nigga. I'm him, nigga.
Once they encountered each other, the Game has claimed that he was so impressed by what he heard that he'd actually intended to sign him.
In the beginning of my career, I'd be going by Top Dog's house, helping him with J-Rock stuff and lending my, 2 cents since I was a little bit, ahead of the curve than from where they were. And I was always asked Top, I was like, yo, let me get Dot. He was like, no. He knew what he was, I knew what he was.
This could have altered the Kendrick story as we know it, as well as how hip-hop views the Game as an exec. Because at the moment, we pretty much don't. Although what is attached to the Game is a reputation for telling elaborate stories from time to time, and it appears there are some insiders who feel this was no different. Among those who don't buy this story is TDE Security 2Ts, taking to IG to declare, blood faking, he never wanted to sign Kendrick. Whether or not he ever wanted Dot to put pen to paper on a deal, there is no denying that the Game gave Kendrick opportunities to shine early. Back when he was still building a regional buzz, Kendrick opened up for the Game on tour just briefly after the release of his C4 mixtape. In an interview from around this time, Dot had a lot of praise for what he'd done for him. But even back then, there never seemed to be a line where it was very much business that was underpinned by respect.
I feel like Kendrick Lamar respects the Game. There's no doubt about it. The Game was way ahead of the curve before Dot's career kicked off. So he was a full representation of West Coast at that time under Dr. Dre's tutelage. So he was one of them ones. I don't know. I just feel like Game makes elaborate stories up to spice up conversations. Because obviously T2Ts has just mentioned that never happened. There was no intention of Game wanting to sign. In his opinion, there was no intention of Game wanting to sign Kendrick Lamar. Top Dog was never going to let Kendrick Lamar out of his sight at that time because they were developing that TDE movement, the black hippie thing. So I think it's a little bit convenient that now Kendrick Lamar is who he is today. The Game is talking on that, well, I wanted to sign him and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, bruv. And I still don't think that's hate. I want you lot to tell me if that's hate in those conversations so far. Does it sound like the Game is hating on Kendrick? Or is it just him saying, look, I was there before, I saw his come up, he's been on my mixtapes, etc., etc. Let me know what you lot think.
Cool, I ain't talked to him in a while, but that's a good dude, he said. I appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to get on a mixtape. I'll never forget that. I was on his LAX tour when he had it. That was my first experience on tour, just getting a taste of what's to come. Once Kendrick had transitioned from up-and-comer to fully fledged star in his own right, the two continued to link up on tracks like The City and See No Evil. Then they linked up one final time in 2015 for the documentary 2's On Me, and soon the fact that they stopped working together ever since is about to have a lot more significance. Back then, it seemed like Game still had the utmost respect for a man that followed in his footsteps.
Kendrick is like our West Coast Nas, so to speak, man. Lyrically amazing. I hope no one ever beefs or tries to attack him lyrically. You will definitely lose. His mind is crazy. I was just in the studio with Nipsey last night talking about how crazy and how far Kendrick's mind wanders, and it translates on records, real dope, man. But me and Kendrick got it in on The City. We got it in on a record on this album, and he's just dope.
Hypothetically, if Kendrick Lamar and the Game got on a versus, this is hypothetical because I don't think it would ever happen, who do you think coming out the victor? Both heavy lyricists, both got incredible catalogue. Tell me what you think, people, in the verses.
Kendrick was pushing the boundaries of hip-hop as he built the follow-up to Good Kid, Mad City. Meanwhile, Game still held a considerable but slightly diminished place in the commercial landscape. Soon, he would run into other big names of K-Dot's class, one who, a little more than 10 years on, would find himself at war with the Compton MC. But as it turned out, the origins of this now historic beef had been simmering back then, having massive repercussions for not only what came in the future, but the frayed relationship between Game and K-Dot. In June of 2015, everything changed between the pair, following Game linking up with Drake for the track 100. Taken from Game's 2015 record, The Documentary 2, the Drizzy-assisted track was one of the lead singles on the record. But one of the reasons that it remains culturally relevant, beyond just the song itself, is because one of the bars are seemingly directed at Kendrick Lamar. Just months on from the release of To Pimp a Butterfly, basically cementing Dot as a voice of his generation, Drake apparently found himself in his feelings about it, and decided to use his guest spot on Dot's Compton Comrades track to broach it, spitting, "If I held back the truth and just gave out compliments, I would have all your fans. If I didn't go pop and I stayed on some conscious shit." The meaning was clear. Kendrick was only allowed to flourish in his role because Drizzy allowed it to happen. And if he wasn't already salty about the Game allowing these bars to stay on track, he was certainly about to be heated that the Game then endorsed Drake coming to his hood for the video shoot and repeating those disdainful lines about him just around the corner from where he grew up.
You know, this conversation with Kendrick Lamar creating some sort of distance between himself and the Game. It's the way that people are reacting to it is very confusing. I still believe that Kendrick Lamar and the Game are cool. They probably don't see each other as much. Life has moved on. Kendrick Lamar's career has gone through the roof. But also Kendrick Lamar is a very mysterious individual, and it's very clear that he keeps silent a lot of the time. All this stuff going on, Kendrick Lamar ain't said a word. Last thing we heard is that Kendrick Lamar told Top Dog told Stat Quo that, hey, when Drake came to Compton and put and sent shots, I weren't feeling that. I understand perfectly how Kendrick Lamar feels.
I think Kendrick felt a way about, Drake didn't say anything crazy on the song, but he's clearly taking a shot because they were taking subliminals at each other for years at that point. I don't think Kendrick was like pissed in the house, like, yo, Drake said that about, I think he was looking at Game like, okay, you brought him to where we live to say that?
Yeah.
I think he was way more mad at Game. I don't think he gave a fuck about what Drake, he's like, that's par for the course. We've both been sending shots to. Kendrick had sent shots before that. I think he was just looking at Game like, okay, you're bringing him, y'all could have shot the video anywhere. You shooting this shit in 3 blocks from my crib? Like.
Although that might have been how Dot interpreted it, the Game insisted it didn't seem that way at the time. Beyond that, he seemed to be actively gassing a potential conflict, suggesting that them coming to verbal blows would be good for the culture as a whole. Another largely unexplored side of the coin is that the Game might have thought it was cool because Kendrick had worked with his ops too. As Game's defenders are quick to point out, Kendrick has proved that he was cool with 50 Cent in spite of the issues he'd had with the short-lived G-Unit member by guest starring in an episode of Power.
He reiterated that to me on the phone, that he didn't know that Kendrick felt the way about that. He reiterated it, but now he said in retrospect he could see and understand it. But guess what? This is one of the bombshells I'm gonna drop here today. But he said when Kendrick did Power, and this is what he said, when Kendrick did Power, and they knew that 50 Cent was his arch nemesis, he didn't feel away. He felt like he enjoyed it.
How is that even the same thing? How is that even the same comparison to bringing a man to your hood and the man dissing you on the record? That's not the same thing. And ain't the Game and 50 Cent brethrens now? Or didn't they just piece it up? They've been in a club together, everything. I swear. Am I wrong? Or have they pieced it up? I know they had a back and forth. They pieced it up before and then they dissed and then they pieced it up again. So it's like, it's not the same comparison to me. Outrightly, Kendrick Lamar, we know, doesn't like Drake, and they've had problems with each other from day one and sent shots to each other subliminally in records from day one. But you bring the Donny to your ends in Compton and that Donny is dissing you on the record. Brother.
He's like, I didn't care that Kendrick did Power. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But that's what he said.
But it's important to note that these two things aren't exactly the same. Sure, Kendrick appeared on Power in spite of how Game felt about it, and maybe should have checked in with him on the matter. On the other hand, his guest spot in a TV show didn't feature any subliminal lines about Game, nor was it filmed in the heart of Compton, where each man once called their home. And when commentators like Rob Markman tried to put themselves in Dot's shoes, they could see why emotions might have run high over the situation.
Fast forward, right? Kendrick has this issue with Drake, and now Drake is on a Game song throwing what they believe to be a sub. And it's like, damn, if you're my man, talking to Game, if you're my man, why you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're my man, why are you letting this guy get on your song and throw a sub at me? It's like rap etiquette, right? But then Game shoots the video and brings Drake to Compton. So now it's like, damn, now you got him in our hood throwing shots. If you're my man, again, that feels off. That feels off. That's the gist of it, right? That's the gist of what's believed to be at the center.
How can you trust an individual like that? And once again, the Game is a legend, but behind the scenes and how he acts and how he puts things out into the world is a clear indication of how people feel about him. We know Dr. Dre don't really fuck with the Game like that for whatever reasons he has. But it's logical that Kendrick Lamar would distance himself from the Game. Should they have a conversation? I definitely believe they should have a conversation behind the scenes. But bro, you can't trust, if a man's just in the middle, just flip-flopping and ain't chosen a side. I've said this time and time again. I don't like flip-floppers. I don't like people who don't stand on something. Even if they're wrong, at least you can go, okay, that's his opinion, he stands on it. If he changes his mind, that's growth. But backwards and forwards, rare, I'm Kendrick Lamar's brethren, I'm Drake's brethren. But then you're just intertwining bare things into it, and it just looks sus.
Forward almost a decade on, and the beef between Kendrick and Drake has a vice-like grip on the world of hip-hop. Due to the affection he felt for both men, Game also insisted that he wouldn't participate in the beef and was just going to watch from the sidelines.
I got the utmost love for Kendrick. If somebody asks Kiss who's the best rapper from New York and you don't say yourself, our friendship gets different.
Yeah, you ain't.
Same go for you. One of the greatest rap. Nah, I just get money. Kobe is never gonna say that Michael Jordan is better than me. He gonna say that he's better than me, but in the Kobe way. But no man with children and a woman at home is gonna say another man is better than you at. Correct. I'm pretty sure Jesus wasn't walking around like, nah, he's a better carpenter than me. This guy. No, I'm from Compton. I drove by Kendrick when I got on. Kendrick seen me in Compton like I seen niggas before me driving through the hood with the booming system with the gold chains. He has a song called Black Boy Fly. If you never heard it, you should go listen to it. So he can tell you in his own words who he saw. I got respect for Kendrick and everything he doing, right? The reason there's any type of little rift between me and Dot or Top, or if there is, if you thought there was, it's because Drake is my friend. Can we all agree that Drake is pretty fucking huge? He's my friend. I got him on speed dial. If I call him and tell him that Cali, Justice, or Harlem want to come to the concert, he say, send him at 6. I'm going to be right there to receive him. You know I love him like I love you.
Okay, cool. You got a friendship with Drake, and you've got some sort of friendship with Kendrick Lamar because Kendrick Lamar was on your mixtapes and you've done records together. Cool. But then when you start doing the politics, it don't look good. It don't look good. Like you're not, like, why didn't you go to Drake say, bro, cool, we're gonna do a record together, but I know you and Dot have certain schism, so to speak. Don't diss him on my records. Diss him on any other record, but don't diss him on my record. What's wrong with that?
Put them where they need to be. Right. Your kids are gonna see everything that they want to see. Do they need OVO gear, everything, whatever? That plug. So I'm saying, if they go to war, then I gotta sit back like a fan of two people. and I guess I just gotta watch it like everybody else.
However, it's safe to say that posting an IG story with Drake's track Energy at the height of the feud certainly made the West Coast question his allegiance. That brings us to the pop-out. Kendrick's now legendary show in Inglewood, where he brought the West out to basically have a victory lap after he dispatched Drake with Not Like Us. At the time, the one big rapper from the West Coast who was notably absent was Game, something which he very much downplayed in an interview just days later.
I think that what K-Dot did for a lot of West Coast niggas last night was hard as fuck. I think it was hard. I think it was dope of him and big-hearted of him to do that shit for niggas. Kendrick do his shit, and what he did last night, nigga, that was amazing for the West Coast. I sat back and I watched it. I ain't have to be there, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a dub for the coast.
Those in Game's circle have also minimized the significance of this, with Stat Quo revealing that the Game and Kendrick haven't ever had the kind of relationship where they hung out, but that he still would have came to the Kia Forum for the show.
I don't know if he was invited. I think he could have went if he wanted to.
That's true.
It's not that type of deal. It was no invite or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Drake are friends. They're friends, okay? So I want everybody to understand that. That's his boy. So him and Kendrick, it's a different relationship. You get what I'm saying? It's not like they buddy. Kendrick don't call Game to hang out. It's not that type of we're gonna do a song, let's do a song. They both from Compton. Kendrick was inspired. Game is a fan of Kendrick. It's not that type of deal. Game is very competitive. So when somebody, Game ain't J. Cole.
This is what I'm trying to say. People are skating around this conversation. At that time when Not Like Us dropped and Kendrick Lamar did his victory lap, he did the pop out, everybody turned up from the West Coast and the Game wasn't there. The Game says that since the confrontation between them both, between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, he's taken a seat back because they're both his brethren. So you didn't go to the pop out show because you know that if you were there and you were filmed there, you would have upset Drake. But you don't have the same alignment with Kendrick Lamar when you brought man to the hood and made man diss you on the tune. So it's like, bro, like we're like, I can't trust people who don't pick a side. Like, even if it's a thing where, all right, I'm going to get you lot together, I'm going to get you lot to have a conversation, and then I'll leave me out of it. If you've had two friends that have been in conflict in real life, and they're both your people, you will try and mend it because that's just what you do as an individual out of respect and love. But at the same time, if you know they just don't like each other, you just don't assert yourself in any type of thing where either one of them can feel some type of way about it.
This was another potential collision course for tensions between Game and Kendrick to bubble over, but peace had largely reigned, with the exception of one situation 5 months prior to where we're at now, when he fired off some fairly direct bars in Dot's direction on a recent verse.
I take this line for us from whatever. On Gangsta Grizz, if I ain't the best rapper from Compton, it's gotta be Kendrick. And if Kendrick is the best rapper, tell him step up and end it.
If I ain't the best rapper from Compton, it gotta be Kendrick. And if Kendrick the best rapper, tell him step up and end it.
All I'm saying is that I'm the best rapper from Compton. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not, just spar with me. I'm your bro. Just spar with me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, no rapper, and I'm not threatening nobody or saying nothing. I'm saying it's about rap. I'm not gonna see beat you up. Like, it's just, and I'm not talking about Kendrick, I'm talking about everybody on a broad scale. It's just like, if you can out-rap me because I'm here and I know that it's just not possible.
He's talking about Kendrick there. Louaista is saying that he feels like the Game hates Kendrick Lamar. That's his thing. This is what he's drawn up. This is his content. Does that feel like hate? Let me know. I'm not saying nothing yet. I'm just going to analyze this thing. I'll give you my opinion at the end. Does that look like hate or not?
Because I'm not going to stop until I see, quote unquote, on the microphone.
While it didn't come off overtly hostile, fans saw it as another transparent attempt to stir attention, similar to his fixation on Eminem during the Black Slim Shady rollout ahead of Drillmatic, Heart and Mind with Hit Boy, trying to revive that music career through Kendrick. Game, you so corny, it's a shame. Plus, seeing problems would contradict his usual rhetoric that he's a man of peace.
I don't f with niggas, I don't battle niggas, I don't beef with niggas, I don't snort it. Unless I hear my name, unless a nigga me out, then I'm
And if that already seemed like a strange thing for someone who's been involved in so many beefs to say, it's about to look even more ridiculous when he slid into an IG comment section ready for war. During a recent episode of Stat Quote's Third Verse podcast, the close associate of Chuck's suggested that the game felt there had been a sly shot sent his way on Not Like Us and potentially even older tracks.
Kendrick said, I see dead people in the beginning of, what song was that?
Not Like Us.
When he said that in the beginning of the song, we did a song where Game said that in the beginning. Dre did the beat.
One Blood. No, not One Blood.
It's another song.
Yes, it was One Blood, right?
Oh, then we did another song where we said that. Game thought Kendrick was subliminally dissing. I spoke to Game for over an hour. I told Top Dog this. This is a fact. I spoke to him for over an hour, convincing him that Kendrick was not dissing him. When Kendrick did that one where he was talking about Big Sean or all that, Game asked me, was he dissing him in that song?
What element?
The Heart.
Oh, The Heart, okay.
I went and talked to Kendrick about it. Kendrick was like, man, I would never diss him. What's he talking about? I told Chuck this. And I reminded him that on that conversation. I said, dog, these you like, chill out. This is real. But in his mind, he like throwing shots at me.
Delving deeper into why the game feels away, Stat revealed the fact that people, including Game, infamously can't get a hold of Dot to discuss things is a big part of the problem.
He don't talk to this what y'all got to understand about Kendrick Lamar. He is not talking to everybody. He talked to Glasses. He's a very few small people that he'll get on the phone with. I think that was another thing that Game had an issue with. He couldn't get Kendrick on the phone. And I'm trying to explain. He's like, man, why won't he just talk to me?
There's a sense of entitlement I feel like some of us have. And I feel that Game has that sense of entitlement with Kendrick Lamar because of their interactions coming up. He feels like he should just be able to call Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar is supposed to pick up the phone because Game is ringing you. And I don't know if that's Kendrick Lamar sitting there saying, I'm not picking up the phone to you. I think that's Kendrick Lamar saying, I just don't talk to any people outside of my circle for protection. When I see the game or when we buck, we'll have the conversation. Or if Top Dog gets involved and they all click up and they have a meeting or some sort of individual or some sort of conversation, then things will be aired out. But I don't know if it's just Kendrick Lamar saying, nah, I'm not chatting to the game. I don't think it's like that. Man is just protecting his peace, and I respect it.
Like, hey, man, and I'm explaining to this, everybody ain't the same. I remember having a conversation with Kendrick about that phone and just talking. He's like, that's his vice. We were just talking about vices one day. And his vice is being away, like being able to cut things off and cut the world off and no one be able to touch him. Like some people's vice is shopping. He enjoys the fact that just can't get to him. They won't actually.
Left in the dark and with his own thoughts allowed to gain steam, that believes that this is what caused the friction.
That's why I was explaining to Game when it came to Dot, but he feels as though because he was one of Dot's inspirations that he should always have that access. But that's just not what it is. I be trying to, people have their own way of having to deal with certain things.
By now, it's well known that Kendrick's former label TDE moves differently from most places, and you can't just open your mouth about their business without someone responding. The situation proved to be no different, as live on air, Stat Quo's narrative was checked by Top. In response, he put out a disclaimer which seemed to be Kendrick and Co.'s official word on the matter.
That call was about, Top was calling me to tell me that when these clips come out, we got to tell the whole, he said, I know you telling the whole story, but you got to tell, it got to be in the clip of the whole story. Because he want everybody to understand, Dot didn't just stop talking to him for no reason. After that video that dude shot in Compton, that changed everything.
The 100 video.
The 100 video. And, I had spoke about that and remember I said that I told Wack and Game about that. And Top thing is like, hey, that gotta be, it don't need to be perceived that Dot just stopped talking to Kendrick out of nowhere. I mean, Kendrick stopped talking to Game out of nowhere. Right. That was the thing that, you know what I'm saying? That did it.
As the speculation swirled, what really brought it to where we're at now was Poetik Flakko's commentary on the podcast clip. In his video, he advocated for Dot being an ungrateful man who reaped the benefits of a cosign from his fellow Compton rapper back in the day, and now refuses to pay homage.
It's simple as that, bro. It's weird and goofy. If you and this man had a relationship and you now like want to cut him off, then tell him. Don't duck his calls, bro. Like, bro, that makes no sense.
Poetik Flakko always comes across to me when he's talking like he's always got food in his mouth. Like he's always eating. Let me get back on point.
If Kendrick Lamar had a relationship with the Game when the Game was somebody that he needed, when the Game was showing love to Kendrick, putting his arms around him, taking him on tour, right? Like doing things that big, if the Game is helping usher you into the industry and showing you mad love when he didn't need to, I feel like the least you owe him is hey, bro, I don't rock with you because of this. Pete, but I ain't trying to hear the decoration for that goofy stuff, bro. Oh, nah, he's just mysterious. He just, nah, man, he just be disappearing.
What's he talking about? Why is Kendrick Lamar gonna call Game to say, I don't fuck with you? What kind of dumb, what is that? Who does that? Who calls a brethren and goes, who calls somebody that they know or associated with and go, bro, I don't fuck with you? What? You will just see that individual at some point in time and you will talk. Unless it's like your brethren, like your family member, Cody, like you see them, you hang out and you link up on a regular basis, then you might call them and go, bro, I didn't like the way that you're operating, or I'm feeling some type of way about what such and such. But you're not just like a man that you don't hang out with, because it's very clear that they don't hang out and they never hang out. They aligned because they're from same ends, from Compton. They align because they do music. They align because of certain affiliates that they have. But they're not close like that. So why is Kendrick Lamar gonna call the Game and say, bro, I don't fuck with you? That no one does that. So what's he talking about, brother? Take the food out your mouth, Flakko.
Seeing Flakko's video on his feed, Game let it be known that he had some serious thoughts on the matter and that it might be time to air them out. At least one dude got it. Fans and internet goofies will never get it. These dudes aren't who you think they are. One day I'm gonna pull the curtain down so you can see every clown in their circus. This had the internet in shambles, with everyone wondering where it goes from here. In his opinion, academics thought that this would mean that the Game is ready to take things further.
The first time he's actually, coming to terms that TDE don't like him, and he's threatening to kind of expose all of this stuff now. He's saying other people don't get it, and he says these niggas aren't who you think they are. Keep in mind, the Game commented under this video, which a reasonable person could say he agrees with the sentiments being displayed or being talked about or being communicated. And if we look at his comment seems to suggest the same.
The Game clearly doesn't have any awareness. He doesn't have any awareness. If Ak is saying that he didn't know that there was some sort of friction or some sort of animosity, then man burning too much weed and drinking too much gin and juice.
Rory and Maul think that he isn't necessarily interested in making peace whatsoever, and that for him, finally getting the official word about why he was cut off has made this a bigger problem than it was previously.
I don't know if Game really cares to fix it though.
I agree with you.
Like, I think that, because, obviously he just had the verses and he said, he was doing the song with Drake. He said, yo, this is my nigga. I don't care who feel away about it. So, I just think that, Game is just, his side is his side. He's been very clear, very vocal about that.
And there are the TDE affiliates who seem to have their own read on the situation. During a recent stream, MacWap seemed to be throwing cryptic shade of some kind in Game's direction.
I can't wait till niggas start having they tell-all stories. I'ma be honest with you. Shout out
to MacWap.
Shout out Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out Lil Wayne. Shout out to everybody in this rap game, man. Shout out the My Life video shoot. You feel me? But it is what it is. Don't let that go over your head, because I sure won't go over that, niggas. And I'm gonna leave that there, bro. We can't wait to have tell-all stories, blood.
To add insult to injury, he even impersonated him and basically portrayed the legendary rapper as desperate for Dot's attention.
Hey, K-Dot. Call me, blood.
Oh, now he don't know me. Hey, nah, blood.
Oh, you don't know me? You don't know Big Bro no more?
Nah.
Without addressing it directly, Game has since been seen ranting at a recent show, positioning himself as the man who still had the West Coast on his back.
To the studio, same day. We did A-Roll, same day. LA be claiming niggas lost. I got hella dead homies. I ain't got no grandparents left. My daddy dead, my mama sick. But I'm on stage, homie. I'm from West Side, Cedar Block, Compton, Peru. I represent LA. I ain't gonna never turn my back on y'all. And I'm 100% sure that when I die, niggas gonna be where I'm from. Oh, my mama, nigga.
I believe Game when he says what he said just now. And he does represent LA. There's no doubt about it. But that's not under the question. What's under question is this little seed of doubt that I have in my brain that he's not feeling Kendrick Lamar's spot. And because Kendrick Lamar doesn't have an open line to him, he feels like he's being sunned. And I don't think that's what's happening. Just people just fuck with who they fuck with and don't who they don't. And he's aligned himself with Drake openly. Cool. You can't tell. I'm not sitting here telling another man who he should or shouldn't be friends with. But understand that every action has a reaction. It's that simple. You move with him, so me and you have, you stay over there.
I don't give a fuck if it's today or 10 years from now or 50, nigga. It's West Side with me. Come on. Let me get a bottle of something. Hold on, we're gonna start that over.
But once again, all this brought was further arguments from fans that maintained he brought this whole situation on himself with those actions from back in 2015. Game knew he was moving incorrectly. He just doesn't want to accept the consequences of his own actions. For others, it went even deeper, with TDE affiliate Keem suggesting that there was jealousy about Dot being formally passed the torch to the West in a way that the Game never was, even if he was involved in the ceremony.
Nigga, Dot empathed out too. He felt that shit. He felt that shit like, damn, I'm around my big dogs. All my big dogs fucking with it. They feeling this shit. They crowning me, passing the torch. But I don't think everybody was on board. It showed up. Would have looked crazy.
And by now, it's no big secret that he has grievances over how he's viewed compared to other rappers from the coast, with his very own words strengthening the sense that this might be the problem.
Purely based on wanting to walk my daughter down the aisle. I had a new mission and a new will to live. That's what it's about for me. And so it's easy for me to give my flowers to Kendrick and YG and Ice Cube and say I love and miss Snip and do all of that. And I get left out of all the conversations. I get left off the mural. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I literally am just trying to stay alive to see my daughter walk down the aisle. And that's it. My purpose was only to be a father. And this list is cool.
Others have even suggested that how he's viewed on his own coast is why he's always being clicked up with the likes of a Toronto artist in the first place.
Because of how the Game has been treated, I think that's why he's always gravitated towards Drake. I don't think these guys ever really fucked with him.
However, this is something that others on the West won't accept, with both Wack 100 and Stat Quo arguing that there is actually a mutual respect between Kendrick and the Game that the current drama is overshadowing.
Okay, it's clear that he has love for Dot. Does Dot have any love for him? Because it appears like
absolutely got love for him. Absolutely, because if he didn't, he would say it. The fact that you never heard K-Dot diss Game is letting you know he got love for that.
Kendrick Lamar's never gonna diss Game. He's not. He respects him way too much to do that. But the Game feels entitled. So that entitlement and the fact that Kendrick Lamar is so big right now, pause, he's a mega star. The stadium tour that he just did was massive, bro. Kendrick Lamar is a big deal. And I'm not sure that the Game is feeling that.
I mean, I'm not sure if he's getting the invites to, like the traditional West Coast things that Dot doing.
Wait, hold on. First of all, let me clear this like this. It's the West Coast. The Game don't need no invite nowhere. If he want to go, he gonna go, and they gonna let him right the fuck in. You don't need no invite nowhere, bro.
The whole incident has basically left Game with two paths that he can opt to take. Either get in the booth or officially stand down. And according to his bodyguard, the rapper appears to be hard at work doing just that. Hey, not to piss anyone off, but the game is in the studio. As simple as it may seem to engage in lyrical combat over the issue, there are many factors which complicate matters. For one thing, there's already a sense that 46-year-old Game just has to grow up, if he ever wants to have a legacy left by the time it's all said and done. And while he's immensely skilled as a rapper, there is also the fact that the last man who actively came to decapitate Kendrick probably wished he didn't bother and is still in litigation over it to this day. Plus, whenever he does anything suspect, which is fairly often, it's the first thing that's used against him. And for someone with an ego as fragile as Game's, that really could be catastrophic. So perhaps it's best to just get the mediators in and squash this one behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think eventually that will happen. People, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this hate from Game? I believe there's some resentment. I wouldn't go as far as to say hate. I don't think that the Game hates Kendrick Lamar. I just feel there's some resentment there because he can't get through to him, one. And Kendrick Lamar has just gone in this run where now he is the top of the food chain. He is the top dog. And in a competitive way, the Game's he's not happy about that. Now the Game has dropped a new album, Documentary 3. I listened to it at the gym yesterday. It's good. I like it. And there's some quotes in there and there's some subs in there that I'm not yet. There's blatant shots in there. Competitive shots, nothing really something that I will go, Kendrick's got to respond to. I just feel like, again, the Game is a competitive individual, just like Kendrick Lamar, and he wouldn't mind a back and forth. What would a back and forth Kendrick Lamar do? Just on a wax thing, it will boost his profile. It will have people talking, and it would help this record sales and promote. So I think that's the reason behind why I would think that the Game would want to battle Kendrick Lamar. I just don't think Kendrick Lamar is interested in that. Kendrick Lamar is doing his thing, working on new music. He's got love for the Game, but he's distanced himself from him because of his affiliation with Drake. Tell me what you think in the comments, people. Am I wrong? Am I right? What do you think? Thoughts and comments. It's your boy Morgan Heights in the building. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time, people. Peace.